I'd like to call to order this regular city council meeting for Monday, February the 2nd of 2026. I'd like to remind the audience that this meeting is being recorded and or taped. I'd like the clerk to note that all commissioners are present. Before we begin each meeting, we start with the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight Commissioner Myers will lead us in prayer.
Okay. If you'd bow with me. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this, the moisture we've received, and for the beautiful weather after the bad weather that we've had. We ask that you continue to bless this city and bless those that live here, work here, and raise families. We ask tonight that you help us to be good listeners, to evaluate the information before us, and make decisions that are meaningful for all concerned. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Doug. All righty. Before we start everything, we of course need to approve the agenda, and there will be an addition of an executive session for non-elected personnel. Is there any other changes that need to be tabled, or we good with everything, Cody?
I believe so. You have the agenda that was sent out this morning.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda with the slight change of the addition of the executive session. It's been moved and seconded that we approve of the agenda for Monday, February the 2nd of 2026 with the addition of an executive session. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to our minutes from our last meeting, January the 20th of 2026. I'm assuming everyone had the time to look over them. Are there any changes that need to be made?
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026 as presented in our packets. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now on to business. 6.1, update from Youth Corps Ministries, the Baron Kyle Nauman. I pronounced your last name correct, right?
You did.
Okay.
Yes, you did. Yeah. It's Nauman, Newman, whatever people want to say. So yeah, Nauman. Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I'm actually the director of Pratt Operations for Youth Corps, and so it's an honor to be here to be able to share with you some updates from last year. I know it's been several years. We used to come in regularly, and so I just wanted to come give you an update as to what's going on there. So since 2020, as many of you know, things have been difficult to get back going just because of the details with that. And so the movie industry has been difficult. There just hasn't been a whole lot coming out new. And so it's been a struggle in some ways. But despite of that, last year we had 7,987 movie patrons that came through our doors, which is exciting, which means people are still enjoying coming to the theater and coming to a place for some good entertainment. In 2025, we implemented what was called the Red Carpet Club, and just asked people in our community, businesses, individuals, to be a part of our family of coming on and helping us. And so we have these tiers where people can come on and help financially. And so the community has really responded well to that and has wanted to come on and help us to be able to help us to continue what we do there and to be somewhere families can come and enjoy themselves. Your guys' support as well of the $300 monthly donation is also very, very helpful to continue what we do. Without our community and without the businesses here, we wouldn't be able to continue just on the movie industry alone. And so our community's love of the Baron is a huge support. We really try every weekend to stay open unless there's a sickness or a weather. We are open every weekend, and we try to do that because we want a place where people can come, and it's not on and off. And so we try to stay open unless an unforeseen circumstance comes up. I'm happy to say we have a 4.7 out of 5 star review on Google Reviews, which is huge. It's a good thing that people enjoy the Baron and what we do, and so that is a very good thing as well. I also wanted to give you, it's not only a movie theater, we also do a lot for our youth out of that building. So I wanted to give you a little bit of update great there as well. In 2025, we had over 200 of our youth here in this community walk through our doors, which is a big number and is a big deal that we get to love on those students. We did a survey of 86 students, and 52% of them said that because of Core Life, they quit a negative behavior. 61% of them say they are doing better in school. 72% of them are less lonely and feel like they are part of something, and that's a big deal for us. I also wanted to share just a quick story from one of our students. So she said, before I started going to Core Life, I struggled a lot with finding a community, specifically one that I could trust and be myself around. I've always struggled with the concept of having to fit in, but Core Life has never made me feel like I need to change to be loved. I used to be addicted to self-harm terribly. I didn't stop as soon as I started going, but Core Life gave me the comfort and constant reminder and support that I needed to get where I am today. I've been clean for over a year and 4 months. She actually wrote that for our gala that we had just last week. And so anyway, I just want to thank you so much for your support of what we do. The Barron people talk about and how much they enjoy it. And so thank you so much for all that you do for us, and thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll hear now an update from the Blythe Family Fitness now. Christina Kaufman. And Mr. Bill Bergner.
Yeah, well, he's my sidekick.
Ah.
No, I'm just joking. No, I just want to just thank you guys for supporting us. I mean, we're about to roll around 15 years being here. You guys have supported us almost 14 years for making sure that I have the tournaments that I have. And I mean, this year and last year and the year before, and I mean, I've had a lot of different things come my way. Like this year, I have something every weekend. Started the first weekend of January, and I don't finish. My last weekend is the weekend of March 8th. I mean, and it's both, and it's quite very, very busy. And I work a lot with different areas. Like, I mean, we've had people come and traveling from 3 hours away to even 4 hours away. And one thing I hear over and over and over again, they says, wow, this is so nice. How did you guys get this in this town? How did you guys go about? And I said, well, we have a city who supports us, and we're very fortunate of that. And I mean, just for example, the first weekend in January, I mean, we had New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I had over 30-some teams at my place for a 2-day tournament. The 21st, I'm looking at 34 as of now. There's still people, and we're maybe happen to cap it. And then I also have a volleyball tournament the next day. So I didn't plan well, but that's okay. I get sometimes excited with the coaches, and I get caught up in that. And I just wanted to fill you in. I know I haven't been here for a while, to fill you in of what I've been doing. And I know that I know you guys have supported. And we are now busier than what we have been in a long time, which we feel very blessed and very fortunate. Because and I know it's just because of the support of the community as well as the city. And we thank you. We just want to say thank you. And I am also looking for just a clarification of the donations that you have given me. I got 5,000 less, and I just didn't know if you guys had something I maybe need to be doing better or doing differently, because
Krista, I think that your application had that amount. I think we just approved the amount that you requested. So I think maybe there was a clerical error on the application.
Oh, okay.
Because the commissioners
because
approved whatever you asked for.
Well, thank you. Well, see, sorry about that.
So I wonder if they thought, oh, well, maybe they're doing better than we thought.
No, and then they've doubled, and actually, this tells you it's been over 14 years we've had that same amount. So as you can tell, evidently, I may be working a little. I've spread myself maybe a little thin, and I'm sorry about that. I just thought, well, maybe I did something, and I needed to check what maybe I need to be doing. And I will say I'm excited. We are trying to get back. We lost it to Greensburg, high school basketball on Tuesday nights. I haven't got 100%, but I'm at 90% thinking I'm going to get that back for the month of, we do high school volleyball, We do middle school volleyball as well as, we used to do high school basketball and middle school basketball, and that was Monday through Thursday. Well, Greensburg took our high school basketball from us, and so I think I might be getting it back. I don't know, but I'm working on it, so trying to work with somebody to maybe get that back. So, yeah, I am, yeah. Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you very
I'm
much.
sorry. You
No,
said
no,
what's
no, that's
No.
fine. No, that's fine.
Meeting, we're like,
Yeah, we were like, what's going on? And I thought, well, maybe I did something. Well, I did do something, and I'm sorry. And so if I raise it back up, you guys won't think anything about it.
but we appreciate it.
Yeah, we
The
do. We
support
really
get
do.
From the city and everything.
Yes, we really do. And do you guys have any questions for me?
No.
No,
No.
doing great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All righty. Moving on now to 6.3, consideration of resolution number 020226-A, alcohol sales and consumption key of G. Garth Brooks tribute concert rescheduled. Miss Tiffany Riley.
Hello. Yes, we rescheduled our concert that was supposed to happen during our snowstorm, and so I'm just hoping that I can move the same resolution to March 7th is the new date. The band was very willing to, they didn't want to drive up from Nashville that weekend either, so it worked out great, and I haven't had anybody ask for a refund on tickets, so I think everybody's able to move into that weekend, so I'm just moving forward with the same resolution.
Okay. Any concerns from anyone?
No.
Okay. I'll make that motion that we approve of resolution number 020226-A, alcohol sales and consumption key of G, Garth Brooks tribute concert for March 7th of 2026. Been moved and seconded that we approve resolution number 020226-A, alcohol sales and consumption key of G, Garth Brooks tribute concert on March 7th of 2026. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Mayor, before we move on from that, the discussion about alcohol in the municipal building has come up quite a bit, and Tiffany, I don't know if you want to help participate in this discussion, but for instance, we were approached by a private party who wanted to have a wedding or a reception at the municipal building. Cody has explained before that because the municipal building is interior, that you don't necessarily have to pass a resolution every time you've exempted that property from the prohibition of alcohol on city property. So I want you to know that those discussions and requests are continuing, and so internally it would help if you kind of gave us some direction on whether or not you would be open to allowing that use for that property without a resolution every time, especially for, the private events.
Yes.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine without having city council approval.
If you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I was the one that suggested,
Oh.
because the state statutes distinguish
Sure,
between
absolutely.
open areas like sidewalk streets from the
Yeah.
building. So, it does require the resolution for those open areas, but it doesn't state anything like that for the building.
Okay.
Okay, so currently, we just do it for these public events.
Public events.
And so what you're saying is to extend it to private events?
We have not allowed private events to have alcohol at the building unless they've come to you for a resolution. But recently, those questions, especially as we're beginning to refurbish the municipal building and make it more aesthetically pleasing for events, we're beginning to get those requests now. We received a request for a wedding reception. Now, we would have to do some internal policies. We would have to do a larger deposit, maybe the requirement of law enforcement or security, those things. But we haven't even began those discussions yet because I didn't know if the commission was open to that.
Well, in Commissioner, the default rule is, no alcohol is allowed on public property. However, that statute provides, municipalities with the ability to exempt certain properties from that. And then as part of that exemption, if the public property is an open area, then it specifically requires a resolution each time. However, portion of it that allows the buildings, public buildings, it does not include that specific. So that's kind of what we're working with is, we have an ordinance that was passed years ago, allowing these buildings to have alcohol, consumption on them. And it's just a matter of whether or not you want to apply what's required for the open areas to those buildings. When the state statute does not require it.
My personal opinion is I'm okay with these public events. I don't know where I stand on the private.
Well, so maybe what I'll do, Monty, is as we continue those internal discussions, if I approach the commission at a later date with some suggested rules, policies, procedures on how we would handle those, and then you would have a better idea on where you stood with that. Are you open
Yeah.
to that?
Yeah, that's all right.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you have anything to say, Brad?
Well, I think we're fooling ourselves if the alcohol doesn't make it in there, even though it's a non-alcoholic.
It has happened in the past. I do think that,
I know for a fact.
Nah,
yeah.
nah.
But to Regina's point, like, we're making this a more desirable venue option, and it's also incredibly affordable in comparison to some other venues, so it would be a nice option for folks that are looking to have a nice celebration in a nice facility that isn't gonna break the bank.
Another side of that is, do we want to compete with private businesses who are offering venues?
So I
You know,
would
if we-
say we don't, Monty, no, of course, we want to support private business, we don't want to compete with them. Some families can't afford the venues that are available. We had 2 dads that had kids get married this year, 3 dads that had kids get married this year, and all 3 of them said that the venues were hard. You know, finding a venue was hard and expensive.
Not to sugarcoat, yeah, expensive. And we went with the last option available, so that we were stuck with what we had, so.
I agree with Monty. I'm in favor, but I'd like to see the guidelines and your process.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that
I agree.
seems logical to me.
Okay.
But as far as these events,
Yeah,
I can,
I think
proceed
public
without
would
getting a
be-
resolution
so
every
if the
time.
city is sponsoring anything, we don't need approval, right? They don't need our
So
approval.
things
I'm
like
all right
Mardi
with that.
Gras, things like the Philly, events, things like if we were to do Oktoberfest inside the municipal building rather than Lemon Park, then you would be okay with those events happening
I
without a
think so,
resolution
yeah.
at the municipal building. If it goes to Lemon Park, it has to have a resolution, but if it's at the municipal building, you're okay with not receiving a resolution every time.
Right.
All of our future concerts and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany.
thank you.
Okay, moving on to 6.4, consideration of resolution number 020226-B, dangerous structure 412 South Main. Mr. Cody Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this resolution is something I drafted after the last meeting that we had where this dangerous structure hearing was conducted. Since the property owner did appear and did make comments, we decided to go ahead and prepare the resolution after the fact. At that hearing, the commission did decide that the structure in question, the interior common wall of these buildings was in fact unsafe and dangerous, and ordered to demolish and remove that wall to commence within 15 days of being served with this resolution and completed within 30 days thereafter. So obviously he's had some time to kind of get the process started, since this is the next meeting where we're approving this resolution, or at least you're considering it, and then after which he will also be provided a copy of the resolution. So lastly, I just mentioned Section 3 includes the non-compliance provision to where if the owner does not comply with that order, the city can then be authorized to abate the issue and then essentially put the cost back onto the property.
So he was not, there was no evidence of him saying I'm still in court with the insurance company, correct?
I haven't received any information from him.
So between our last meeting and this meeting, we haven't been,
I've not been contacted by Harry at all. But the Goins are here, Kent and Deb, and I think that they may want to approach the commission about, did you want to say anything to the commission? No, I just didn't know if you had something that you wanted to present, Deb, about the property. You know, you wanted to be here.
Well,
We're working on it.
yeah. Well, if there's no other discussions, I think we kind of know where we stand on this issue, so. All right, anyone like to?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 020226B, dangerous structure on 412 South Main, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve of resolution number 020226-B, dangerous structure at 412 South Main, as presented in our packets. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
One step closer, guys.
So can I ask, what's the timeline on this now for us? When can we actually start?
So he is required to begin, Mr. Dawson's been ordered to begin work within 15 days, which shall be completed within 30 days after the service of this resolution. So then after 30 days, then we can take action. Cody?
Well, if he doesn't start
It's
within
45 days.
within 15 days, we can start on day 16.
On day 16.
But then if he
Okay.
does start it and then doesn't complete it, then after 30 days, we can take action.
So, Robert, will you calendar that? And so then on day 16, we can maybe even schedule, so it could be within just a few weeks.
Yeah. You're welcome. We're glad to help you guys as much as we can. All right, moving on to 6.5 now. Consideration of resolution number 020226C, designating the People's Heartland Foundation as custodian of the City of Pratt Parks Department Fund and authorizing the execution of the fund agreement, Schneider Trust Parks Endowment. Mr. Cody Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. So as previously informed to the council, or I should say the commission, we had a discussion about the Mark A. Schneider Trust has basically provided a testimony trust gift to the City of Pratt, Kansas Parks Department. It's 25% of the total share of the value. That comes out to, according to the trustee, somewhere around $300,000. There are certain requirements in that trust agreement that the city, through the Parks Department, would have to follow, primarily that it be held as an endowed fund, and the income used to improve and maintain city parks. The endowed fund portion means essentially the principal, the original gift, cannot be spent. Only the income upon it, in which it's invested, be it interest and things of that nature, that is what may be spent on the parks. I've had multiple discussions with the trustee. I've also been working with Ernie Richardson from the People's Heartland Foundation, trying to figure out the best way forward in terms of doing this, in order to essentially be able to invest that money and in the best way we can to generate the most income, but still be compliant with all the laws that we need to. Essentially what we came down to was the trustee agreed that we could use the People's Heartland Foundation to serve as the entity to essentially hold those funds and to invest them. It opens up the door to some different investment options than if the city were just holding it directly in its own endowment fund. So we see that as a success in order to generate more income for the Parks Department, so that there's going to be more money there to spend on larger projects. So essentially what you have in the packet here first is the fund agreement that I worked on with Mr. Richardson. We believe, we're confident that it complies with the trust requirements, because that has been shared with the trustee of the trust, and he agreed that it looked appropriate. And then secondly, there is the resolution there that designates the People's Heartland Foundation as custodian of the City of Pratt Parks Department funds, and sets forth essentially that the agreement that's in the packet is approved and that it may be signed. So you don't have to approve each one of those individually. If you want to move forward with this direction, you just need to approve the resolution, because in the resolution it approves the contract. But other than that, if you have any questions, that's all I have.
I should abstain, I think.
Okay. All right. And then Cody, I will read the motion that you've, I guess, provided for me on this one. So,
Sounds good.
if there's no other discussions, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 020226-C, designating the People's Heartland Foundation as custodian of the City of Pratt Parks Department Fund, and authorizing the mayor to execute the fund agreement, related documents consistent with the resolution. Been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 020226-C, designating the People's Heartland Foundation as custodian of the City of Pratt Parks Department Fund, and authorizing the mayor to execute the fund agreement, related documents consistent with the resolution. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Abstentions?
Aye.
Okay. 4 to 1 abstention.
You notice on the contract it says farm.
Did Bree put farm on there?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know my last name was Farm.
What?
You put my last name as Farm.
In the resolution where he signs.
I didn't do that.
Oh, who
Oh,
did
that would
that?
be mine.
Oh, Cody, wow.
The city attorney.
Must
Oh,
be
city.
Fat,
makes sense.
fat fingered it.
Different
It's,
synopsis.
it's in the.
Yeah, you put Kyle Farm. I just noticed that.
Just
Think,
pencil it in.
pencil it in. It's fine. All right. Okay.
That's mine has.
Moving on now to the public hearing of 6.6, nuisance violation of 1311 North Ninneskau for Donald E. Hollister, Cody Smith, and our city attorney, and Mr. Robert Walker, the code inspector.
I'll start this out just to kind of give a lay of the land and discuss the process, since I don't believe we've had one of these for some time. It is somewhat similar to the dangerous structure process that we've recently gone through. However, this is pursuant to a different section of the code with respect to the nuisance code. For this particular case, the property owner's name is Donald Hollister. He was provided a notice of violation on December 8th, 2025 for the property located at 1311 North Ninneskau. You will see the copy of that notice that Mr. Walker served upon Mr. Hollister. After receiving that notice and pursuant to city code, Mr. Hollister then filed for essentially a hearing, a public hearing before the governing body. It states in the code that upon receiving a notice of violation, the property owner requests that hearing within 15 days after being served. Then the hearing will be held prior to a determination of this hearing. The case cannot move forward to municipal courts, and there can be no abatement by the city. The city commission must first determine essentially the merits of the notice of violation, and whether the inspector, Mr. Walker, complied with what was required, and specifically whether or not there actually are these violations. So similar to the dangerous structure proceeding, Mr. Walker will go first. He will show the evidence, to present what is existing on the property, and explain why the notice of violation was provided to Mr. Hollister, and any questions that the commission may have could be asked of him. Then after that, Mr. Hollister, as the owner of the property and the one who requested the public hearing, can present his evidence as to why he does not believe the property is in violation of the code as set forth in the notice of violation. And then any questions of him may be asked. At that point, there would be a close of the evidence. The commission would then deliberate in terms of whether or not they believe a violation occurred, and vote, and then should also state some findings on the record with respect to what the violations what factual violations there are based on the evidence that's presented to the commission. Similar to how we did the dangerous structure proceeding, we discussed on this agenda. However you decide, if you decide there isn't a violation, then the process ends. If you decide that there is a violation and you provide those findings, then I can prepare the necessary resolution that can then be presented at the next hearing. Since obviously we didn't want to show any prejudgment, have anything prepared in advance, it's certainly up to the commission to make this decision. So that's basically the procedure we're looking at. I would just advise to look at some of these sections. There's some paperwork there that lists the city code sections and some of the definitions, and make your decision based on what's in our city code. And other than that, unless you have any questions about the procedure, I think we can get started with Mr. Walker's presentation, followed by questions, and then Mr. Hollister's presentation.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't block.
So I'll give you a little bit of background on this because it's got a little bit of a past to it too. So I took over in February, and in March, I actually served Donnie notice to clean this area up. What I didn't realize was that there's two residences here. There's a 1313 North Nenasko, and there's a 1311 North Nenasko. So I served him with the 1313, and that's the actual shed you'll see right here. In the county, that's classified as a house as well. I believe it's a 2-bedroom house, and then there's the house next to it. It looks like there's a garage on the front of it. I just want to let you guys know. And then, so this is, we're looking south on that 1300 block, and let me see. Yeah, let me see this. So right in here, right in front of this is Donnie's. This come from North Pearl address. He used to own an address on North Pearl, and he moved all that stuff up here. So the property's right in front of this somewhere. You'll see the top of this camper right here. That is actually pretty close to where the right-of-way. It's on the right-of-way of the city of Pratt. So if you want to just go to the next one. This is the 1313 right here. You can see he's got it spray painted here. This is the actual 1311. Okay, we'll get to it. And yeah, just go to the next one. There we go. So the property line is right in here, in between these two residences. Behind this camper, there's a mailbox. I believe it looks like a mailbox. I actually found a picture of it from 2008 today, and it's a mailbox. And that right-of-way actually goes to right in front of that mailbox. So all this stuff right here is on our right-of-way. Go ahead, next one. Yep, go ahead. I was just showing the tag. It's expired. It's sitting on the right-of-way. Go ahead. That's one. Okay, so go to. These will show it a little better. So that camper is over here. The right-of-way is here. As you can see, the vehicles.
So you're saying the camper is on the east side of the right-of-way?
Yes, sir. And this is actually the neighbor's yard right here. This guy lives in Colorado. I served him papers, and he had it removed once. So now Donnie's taking these trucks off and putting them over here. As you can see, they're lined up. And here's the property line to the neighbors. So now he's encroaching on the other neighbor. And none of these taxis move this one over here now. This dune buggy right here was on the North Pearl address. It came over here.
So this is 307 North Pearl.
This is, yeah.
The commission had heard several nuisance complaints about 307 North Pearl, and we did abate that property a few times. But there was a fire a few years ago, and I think that after the fire, it's been don't even pay anything about it.
So here's the neighbor's property. I took some pictures of it. It's got, this car is actually tagged. The pickup in front of it is not. The other one is. And this, I don't know, this little trailer's got like a rear end on it. Go ahead.
And why is it important if it's tagged or not tagged?
In the city of Pratt, it has to have current registration and current insurance to be on the street or the right of way.
And if it doesn't, is that evidence it's considered a junk vehicle?
It is. So I just took a few more pictures here. Close-ups. And like I said, you can barely see the top of this camper right here. And back behind it's where that mailbox is. I talked to the guys in the water department, and they said they've never seen this road graded. Even Donnie made the comment, they don't even grade my road anymore. Not only is it a nuisance, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. What if we have a fire up there getting our fire trucks down that road? Go ahead. That's all. Okay. I do have some pictures in there. They're not from this date, but where he's actually getting out onto the alley right away too. Yeah. Yeah, do the this one. So these I took in January. They're kind of this.
So Cody, legally, if there's a camper or a car or a truck on Jackson Street, on the street, and it's just been there for a month, and it's in the street, who legally should be taking that off? Obviously, the owner's not gonna do anything with it.
I thought they had only 3 days to park it there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend on what, ordinance is going to be enforced, but, I mean, in terms of if it's something that's not registered or tagged and, doesn't comply with the nuisance codes, I see what you're saying. If it's someone that's parked it on the public property and not on their own front yard, I think we would then could pursue other. That wouldn't be a case that we would pursue a nuisance remedy. That would be a case we would pursue other violations of
Yeah,
the
'cause
law.
it's on city property, isn't it?
Right, but
Well,
if
It's an abandoned vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I'm
isn't it?
talking about.
if it's not on their.
I'm just talking about a random camper or truck or car just sitting abandoned on Jackson Street.
I always understood after 3 days, it's an abandoned vehicle, and it can be tagged and moved.
And then we could also pursue that one directly through municipal court, because the nuisance code provides that we have to provide this notice, and they can request a hearing for the governing body. But that one I wouldn't pursue the nuisance on it. I'd pursue it through municipal
So
court.
we actually got two different things here going on then, right? We have in the city's public right-of-way, which is Nennesaw Street, and then we have a nuisance that goes from Mr. Hollister's property back to the alley.
Somewhat. I mean, the public right-of-way can still actually be located on an individual's property, but the city has right-of-way access on that, and then as such, it's required that the individual not park any property on top of that. So even if it's not on the public street, but it's on the right-of-way portion, it would still be on the individual's property, in which case then we could resolve it by a nuisance case.
So Robert, even that camper that's behind that metal pole, that's on right away?
It is. We've got some of those pictures back there. I was just showing you guys what's on the right of way, but some of these pictures back here, it's lined up with other trucks in the yard too, and you'll see See, these trucks back here are clearly not on there. He's got that Ram Charger that's in the road it's parked in there now. There's 2 campers in the backyard. They're still there. And this is his backyard. And so right here should be the telephone poles right in this area. I think I'm standing right to the east of the telephone pole to show you what's on the alley easement, or the alley right away, I mean. I discussed this when I first started talking to Donnie, and I told Donnie that I would work with him if we would get the stuff off the right of way. I wouldn't give it to the city attorney. Gave him numerous opportunities. He just keeps adding to it. So that's what we've elevated to now.
All right, Robert, do you have any other things you wanted to show us, or?
I don't believe so.
Huh? Does anyone have any questions for Robert?
I would just ask, since we need to set a compliance deadline, if Robert, if you had any recommendation on what that compliance, how many days that compliance deadline should be.
I would say we'd give him the same as the dangerous structure. Give him a 15 days.
Okay.
That's plenty.
So 15 to get started, 30 to be completed.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. I'll admit that.
All right, so Cody, now we let Mr. Hollister.
Present any evidence. he
Okay.
has. Yep.
All right, Mr. Hollister, if you will, yeah, just make sure kind of speak clearly into the mic up there and everything, so everyone can hear you and all that.
Would
Okay.
I be able to pull those pictures back up to give a little more clarification on some stuff?
Yeah, Robert. I mean, he asked if he could bring up the photos for clarification. Yeah.
No.
Does anyone have a
Start with
problem?
the last
Okay.
picture.
I'll just go turn off.
I've had this property for 12 years now, and this stuff has been in the same spot. Like the Ram Charger he talked about, the black one, that has been sitting there the whole time. And the truck in front of it has been too. So why in the 12 years have I not been cited or had any issues with this?
Donnie, I've sent you letters after letters, you've ignored them. My fault that I did not follow through, my fault. I have sent you letter after letter after letter.
For the
and
307 North Pearl, yes.
No, I sent the letters to the North
I
Denniscott.
never received any that I know of.
Okay.
And as far as the 307 property, it had caught on fire and I had sold it, which I was told it had an issue too. But the people that bought it has not received any issues or any complaints that I know of. And I had told Mr. Walker that I was bringing my vehicles and stuff from over there to my shop. And the reason why they're not moved back further is because I'd planned on bringing a building in to store some more of this stuff that's on the outside. And a lot of it that you see like in front of the shop there, that is sitting on a trailer. You can't see it from the picture, but there's trailers underneath that stuff that's there. And he didn't show none of the previous pictures from when the complaints first started, where I had a car parked out front that was for parts for another car, which is a 1960 soft top convertible I got inside, and a bunch of other stuff that was there that I had removed. And like you said, that Ram Charger there is no longer there. But if you click over to the picture with the trailer, and see all that stuff over there, semi-trailers and all that stuff? Okay, that's the same kind of stuff I got. That semi-trailer, the red one right there next to the Ram Charger, would be in the same spot that mine is, that all my stuff is. That guy has not received any complaints or any ordinance issues at all. Why is that?
I believe this is a hearing on your property, Donnie, not his property.
Well, this is part of it. If you can.
No,
keep
no, it
going to the
isn't.
picture.
This has to do with your property. This doesn't have anything to do with the property next door. You're just trying to skew what's going on here.
I'm just wanting to know why I'm being singled out when the neighbors are not being enforced on any of the violations. I wanted to go with looking north direction. It's still south. Well, since he's got that picture up, those are actually posts and poles that are going to that fence that I'm putting up. I have not completed it yet. It's in the process of being done. With work and everything else, I'm only allowed a certain amount of time to work on stuff before it gets dark or whatever else. So it's taken me a little bit of time to get everything done. And which, yeah, the plans are is to move the vehicles back, finish that fence up, and I am zoned industrial up there, so as far as all the zoning stuff, I'm allowed to have the vehicles and all that other material I got up there. It's why I originally bought the place, was because I was having issues with having my property at 307.
So
I
do you
bought
do you have a state of Kansas salvage license?
No, it's not a salvage yard. I'm not salvaging this stuff.
So what do you consider it?
I consider it my personal property. I've worked hard for to purchase. I custom build stuff. I do all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
So wait, so you said that it was zoned as industrial,
Yes.
Robert? It's light industrial. So what that means exactly? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and it's irrelevant because Section 8-04-80 unlawful acts, which is what we're dealing under here, says it is unlawful for any person to allow to exist on any residential, commercial, or industrial premises conditions which are injurious to the health, safety, or general welfare of the residents of the community. And then it lists all the different violations under that. So it's been explained to Mr. Hollister through municipal court that that is not a valid defense. These apply to industrial properties as well, and he does not have that property set up for a scrapyard if that's what he's claiming, which it sounds like he's not. And he has not sold any of those vehicles for at least a year. So to try to suggest that he's some type of dealer in vehicles is absurd. And that has also been explained to Mr. Hollister through municipal court. So as far as going forward, Mr. Hollister, what we're here for today is you are to show under the Chapter 8 code why these conditions do not violate that code.
Okay.
That's what we're here
Can you show me
for.
in the last 12 years where somebody has been injured, sent to the hospital, any records of any of that?
That's not what that definition means, Mr. Hollister. And I'm not going to tell you what it means,
injuries,
but I'm not your
part
attorney.
of it don't consider people being injured? Am I not understanding that?
You can read the code yourself. We're not here to provide you
Well,
with
you just
legal
read it.
advice.
I'm stating, does that include injuring, somebody being injured on my property if it states that it's an injurious, property or
For
nuisance
the
on the
purpose of a fair and efficient enforcement and administration, such unlawful conditions shall be classified as followed. Exterior conditions, yard, shall include, but not be limited to, the scattering over or the parking, leaving, depositing, or accumulation on the yard, any of the following: lumber, wire, metal, tires, concrete, masonry products, plastic products, supplies, equipment, machinery, auto parts, junk or refuse, abandoned motor vehicles, furniture, stoves, refrigerators, televisions, sinks, bicycles, lawnmowers, or other such items of personal property, or noxious substances, carcasses, dead animals, or places where animals are kept in an offensive manner. Those are all violations under the code, set forth under the code, that applies to your property. And these are defined as injurious to the welfare of the community.
Okay, and that's under the ordinance, right?
I just said it was.
Okay, well, what is the zoning state that I can have up there? Could you pull that up for me for light industrial?
I'm not pulling that up because that's not relevant to, I just
Well, yes,
explained to you
it's-
that this applies to industrial properties.
Yes, for the code part. Now, let's go to the other side of it.
This isn't a
where it
zoning
contradicts
hearing, Mr.
itself.
Hollister. This is a hearing specifically under Chapter 8.
Okay, well,
If you want a zoning
property
hearing, you
have
need to go
be-
talk to the planning commission.
How is it not relevant, though? One states one thing, but the other states the
Kyle,
other.
I don't think we're in court right now. We're in a hearing.
Well, I'm just trying to present my evidence to you guys.
You're presenting evidence
And
that's not
he's
relevant.
stating one thing, that I can't have this stuff, but in the other side of your paperwork, it states that I can have it. In my zoning, it states I can have the buildings, I can have the lumber, I can have all that stuff.
No, it does not, and this is
does
the
not?
hearing to
Well,
present
let me find
evidence.
my paperwork.
If that's the argument you're going to make, then you present what that shows. Otherwise, this is not a hearing for what you're trying to argue. It's the wrong body. This is for Chapter 8.
I think he's clearly in violation of what we're talking about here.
It's obvious.
I think I've seen enough to proceed.
I was going to agree with you, Monty. Mr. Hollister, we appreciate your time here, but we're going to have to agree with, I mean, we'll have to put a vote on it, but I'm in conclusion with our city attorney and our city building inspector as well. So with that being said, Cody, can we just make a motion, or is there?
Yep, I just make a motion if you believe the violation exists, and then essentially just briefly classify the violation, and then set a compliance deadline, and then before the next meeting, I'll draft the appropriate resolution for y'all to review and pass at the next hearing.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that as a result of public hearing, nuisance violations exist at 1311 North Ninscaw, Donnie E. Hollister. What else? That's it.
15. Well, no, 15.
Oh, it's 1311 and
It's 1311.
13.
Yeah.
It's two properties.
Two of them. So 1311 and 1315.
Well, we're just here on 1311. 1313,
that's what I
he
thought.
did not request a hearing, and we have a municipal
Okay.
court.
Okay.
That's what I said, 1311.
But we need to also put days in there, correct?
Correct, yeah, the compliance deadline. If you want to do the 1530, like Mr.
Along with complying, he has to start compliance within 15 days, completed within 30 days.
And that will be from when he gets served with that resolution, so he'll
Upon-
actually have more time than that. He'll have between now and the next meeting, and then that,
Keep adding, upon serving of
yeah. That,
Mr. Hollister.
that's just what, pursuant to the ordinances.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Would I be able to get the records of the complaints that were turned in previous on this? Because Mr. Blankenship stated that he had made the complaints. I would like to, surely the city has them.
I think it's irrelevant, isn't it?
Well, I think under a FOIA request, you can get the records.
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah, anything I have will be in those drawers that have that address.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, that's okay, but
But
it's irrelevant to what we're deciding
Right,
tonight.
yeah, it's-
Based on the evidence presented.
It's an open record, and
Sure.
But he'll have to file one, right?
he did.
He did file it for us. Okay.
And we responded that more time was needed, because there's several people involved, so, I gave him a 14-day, acknowledgement. I don't know what day that was, but it was recent.
Yep.
So Cody, do you want the commissioners to state in detail or some facts about why they found them to be out of compliance?
Yeah, just, so I can make sure have clarity for the resolution. I mean, I've looked at the photos, so I think I have a good idea, but if you just want to state some of the items there that you've seen in these photos, just so, it's clear what to put in the resolution.
So,
The tires, the vehicles, the.
So that motion would include in the evidence presented photographic evidence of multiple vehicles, campers, equipment that was on the right-of-way and roadway on Ninisquah.
And then I'll prepare, we're not passing the resolution tonight, so I'll prepare it with information, and then that way you all have it before you decide whether or not that's what you want included in there.
I do need a second.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the nuisance violations at 1311 North Ninneskah for Mr. Donald E. Hollister with photographic evidence of vehicles, campers, and tires on the right-of-way of Ninneskah as presented. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. All righty. Thanks, sir. Okay, Robert, do I need to keep the lights off? Because are we doing something, or is this from last time, the North Pine? Okay, so I can. Perfect. Okay, I'd like now let's go to business 6.7, dangerous structure hearing 712 North Pine Street. Cody Smith and Mr. Robert Walker again.
Robert, you want to just give them an update on, this is the one that we continued because we were trying to help the gentleman.
That's
in a
correct.
bad
Okay.
situation, so.
That's right.
I think Mr. Walker has some updates.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be here today. I spoke with him today earlier. He came into my office. He says he's got it figured out, what it's gonna cost him to get into this, low-income housing. He has a place to put his camper, so,
So we can move on to.
he does not have a date of when he's gonna move in, but he's
But
been
the-
accepted, yeah.
But with the camper and stuff, he found a location to
Yep.
be at least
He's
be
gonna put it at his neighbor's house.
his neighbor.
Yeah, I spoke with his neighbor. His neighbor's good with it.
Does he know how long?
I don't know.
So Robert, isn't the parish lofts, another one that is, on condition of,
Your income.
right? I think it is.
Tammy lives there.
The parish lofts is, you cannot make over a certain dollar figure. You have to have income, but it cannot be over a certain dollar amount. And I do know there are 2 units open there currently, a 1-bedroom and then a 2-bedroom.
Well,
I'll
do you
make-
think
I'll
he fits that?
I'll make contact with him tomorrow and tell him about it.
Yes.
But
I'm
Linda
familiar
Linda
with that.
Fletcher
parish
is the
lofts.
manager there.
The
Oh,
8-story
Linda
Yeah.
Fletcher is the
parish, what are they
manager.
called? Parish what?
Law.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
just didn't understand.
So should I just go ahead and prepare a resolution, like a 15, 30-day resolution? And, I mean, you don't have to move forward with it right after.
Yeah.
I mean, if he still needs more time, you can give him more time, but.
But he's not. But if he's off the property, then is he off the property then?
He is not right now.
But I mean, assuming if we would say, hey, 15, 30 days.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys okay,
Yeah,
Cody?
we can move forward.
All right,
Absolutely.
move
Yep.
forward.
Okay, we'll do.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there any other things on 6.7? Okay. Moving on now to open public comments. Any matters only, 3-minute time limit. The public's allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled to discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions in items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Okay, with that being said, we'll move on to reports. City Manager, Ms. Goff.
Thank you, Your Honor. A few things that, to report on is last Friday, last Thursday, I, met with Chase, Golly on a couple of things. One of the things that we discussed was the police department, move and the municipal building versus the community center. And one of the, resolutions that we came to, Jamie, stopped in and Robert stopped in, and the next day we had a conversation. Joe was, out that day, but Joe, came in the next day and we all had a conversation about it. And the direction that we're moving in right now is, to look again at the community center and see how we can control those costs and get those costs down. I asked Chase and Joe to come up with some sort of a plan to reduce the cost of that remodel down to about $500,000. What could they do from about that amount so that we can address the needs of our law enforcement officers and get them moved out of the LEC quickly. And then that doesn't preclude potential improvements in the future, but at least it meets the need right now for a more reasonable dollar amount. So that's what I've asked those gentlemen to do, and I believe, and Joe can update you more, but were you able to make contact with Chase?
I did, we're scheduled to meet the first February,
So that's the update on that. Let's see, there's been a lot going on in our community lately. I've been in contact with Lynn DeLanderman, just seeing how the city can partner with them, during this time of transition, and we have a good partnership with the city. I've also made contact with Mr. Helfrich too, and wishing him good luck in the future as he retires at the end of the school year.
Gina, speaking of PCC, I know there's a lot of changes happening right now. I know this time of year, the president would always give us, or their financial person would always give us an update of how 2020, how the previous year went, and all that.
I feel like Dr. Calvert did that recently, within the last 3 months or so.
I think he did.
Did
I
he?
think he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was here.
Maybe.
And I would not expect any miracles for a while. I would give them some time
Yeah.
to get somebody else seated. But things seem, with Monette,
Yes.
as interim, I think that they're in good footing for now.
Okay.
So, on Friday, I'll be meeting with a member of the senior center as well as 2 county employees, and thankfully, Doug and Monty have agreed to join me on that discussion on Friday, 2:15 at the community center, and Justin will be with me as well. Right, Justin? Because the community center still falls underneath the rec department. I was in Topeka last week. Was it still last week? So much has happened. So with Evan Hands, was able to meet with Representative Hoffman, Representative Schwarzenegger, Senator Tory Blue, discussed the NRP, discussed our municipal utilities with them. I also sent a text message to Senate Majority Leader Chase Blasey and asked him to support that bill that was introduced regarding allowing cities under 10,000 population to designate the entire county as a neighborhood revitalization program. Cody, were you able to provide oral testimony today?
I provided written testimony. Apparently there was some issue with the individual's email that it was sent to, didn't receive it. So, but I did watch the hearing. The county councilor did provide oral testimony, and a lot of it was just kind of explaining to the members of that committee kind of some of the what the NRP is, because I don't think a lot of them were familiar with it. But I think once they kind of had their minds wrapped around, okay, what this is and what it does, they asked some pretty good questions of Mr. Eisenhower, and he had some really good answers, so I thought it went well.
Does it look like the committee will probably pass it, you think, and go to the House, or?
Mr. Eisenhower told me that it's his understanding that it's going to make it out of committee,
Okay.
and that was prior to the hearing, and I thought the hearing went well, so, no guarantees, but it looks like that's going to be the case. But.
Okay. Well, hopefully it goes through and Governor Kelly signs it and we can put this to bed.
No kidding.
I do want to give kudos to Cody. He's worked very hard.
Yes.
on
Yes, he
this.
has.
On a lot of things.
Yes, Cody, you've done great work.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I feel like we've run him ragged. So, and he's done not just a lot of work, but good work. So, let's see. I'm working with Tara and Alita. We're looking at our bank balances, and we have some idle funds that I still want to get plugged into some more CDs. At the beginning part of the year, that's when you receive the majority of your property tax funds, and so I want to get them plugged into a CD so that they earn some interest before those funds are needed later on. And then, other than that, I'm just business as usual, working with department heads and citizens. I did want to ask, Mayor, when we do our executive sessions at the end of all of the reports, can we please do the non-elected personnel first, because I need Robert and Jeff to stay on the premises they don't
Yeah.
have to be in the commission room at first, but just in case they're needed.
Yes, we can do that. Thank you. Any other questions for Regina? Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, Public Works, Mr. Shanline.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Street Department has officially finished the snow removal from the last snowstorm. That is including the 6th Street pile that they pushed up into a glacier. That will give us the room to do if there should be another snowstorm in the future, so that'll be possible. They have continued with the milling and patching around town for the potholes that have been called in. Obviously, the trip to Garden City was postponed for the snow, but that has been rescheduled, I believe, for sometime in March, so we can see that asphalt recycler in action and consider whether or not that would be a good fit for the city. Water Department today, they did a 2-hour flush to waste on number 12 well. That is to see if the running of that well when it's in winter or in idle will lower or have an effect on the nitrates. I did not get results back on that yet, but I will as soon as I hopefully get back to my email. They should be in. Wastewater did the initial testing on that since we have the equipment. I just hadn't heard back from them by end of day, so that should be in. Parks Department, Danny got a bid from one of the local hardware stores, and this week I believe they will be starting on the redecking of the Lemon Park dock. That will include the handrail all the way out and all the surfacing. He does have another quote for the Green Trails patio around the bathroom area. He is going to get a second bid on that and see if composite decking would be a better option down there, since it's such a much more moist environment, so it'll last longer. He just hasn't got bids on that yet. Sanitation is business as usual. My understanding is they did put on another employee full-time. From what I understand, he's doing well, and we have signed up one of their full-timers for CDL training at PCC starting at the end of March. From Public Works, I got an email today from Orosco. The curb and gutter project is complete, so they will be submitting an invoice for that soon. I didn't hear anything from the community on whether or not that affected anyone, but I heard compliments from around the tennis court and Boy Scout area that they really like the addition of the sidewalk there for getting back and forth. We are going to be adding crosswalks in that area when the spring comes around. That way the kids can get back and forth to the pool a little safer. I contacted Jason Winkle with the county landfill today, and we got it on the calendar for City Cleanup Week to be May 6th through the 11th. And we will detail that out when it gets closer. And lastly, I'm happy to report that both John Kissel and Lance Steiner passed their Class 3 certifications
Awesome.
for wastewater.
Awesome.
Is still there. And back to street department, the street sweeper is still down with a most likely blown engine. We have had bids in on that, both 2 locals and 1 from the dealer. We're just looking for the best option at this point. It more than likely is going to be a complete replacement of that engine for that. The fuel delivery pump essentially ate itself and sent it through to the engine. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Is there any?
There's not. All of the mechanics would say there's no way to get everything back the way it should be for the amount of damage it would have done going through the engine.
So
They also didn't recommend buying a used engine because you never know what you're going to get, and you may be back in the same boat in a year.
So did you say it was a fuel pump we bought that?
No, it
oh.
was part of.
Oh.
It was a fuel pump that was on
Okay.
the machine.
Okay.
It just ate itself, and
Okay. Just
for whatever reason, then no.
So how long do you think that'll be down? Best case?
I have no guess. I don't really have a guess. They can't even give me a solid, they've never crossed this bridge of replacing an entire engine in that piece of equipment before. Morgan Diesel was hesitant to give us a bid. Detweiler Diesel, they gave us one, but it was on a ballpark on hours, and the dealer, they gave us a high estimate just to make sure they had plenty of time allotted in for it.
How old is that sweeper?
4 years? No, 4 years left on the lease. I believe it is 6 years.
What brand is that?
Bravo.
Did we
We know
have,
which one to steer away from next time.
It's been discussed.
I would just like to mention that I've also, not on the machinery, but had a lot of comments and thank yous for finishing up the path in, around the Girl Scout cabin and across from the tennis courts.
I'm assuming we have no more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Warranty?
Warranty.
No, not on engine on something of that size. Typically, the best you're going to get on something like that big is 2 years.
Okay.
So kudos on the downtown snow clearing. I thought that was very well done.
Thank you.
You mentioned green trails. The signs out there are in not too good a shape. Is that on the?
The trail signs, Danny's making brand new ones right now.
Perfect.
They should probably be done. They actually have a lot of them done. It's just too wet to get back there to install them with the snow. As soon as it's dry enough, he said he's got several of them already complete.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions for Jeff? All right. Thank you, sir. All right, building inspector, Mr. Walker.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I had 3 electrical, 2 concrete. Spoke with an individual about a fire rating in between the attached garage. Measured some property over a couple neighbors disputing, and then I sent out 2 nuisance complaints. I would like to also let you guys know that the Pratt Elks car show is going to be September 12th from 8 to 2. You're going to have it in that same area next to Lemon Park where they had the, I can't remember, llamas. Is that what those were? Yeah. So they, I just want to let you guys know that. They,
Okay.
Are they going to need dumpsters, trash cans,
yeah,
for traffic control?
I don't believe traffic control, but we will need some trash cans. Yeah. Yeah. Got a day or 2 left.
All righty. Any other questions for Robert? Okay. Thanks, sir. All right. Electrical department, Mr. Huber.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would assume you read my notes for this past year's things that we did. What we didn't put on there was all the time and meetings and everything that go into all that. I didn't add that. Also, if I remember right, I didn't put the stats of how many locates we had to do this year. And we're averaging over 100 a month anyway, so 1,200, let's just say 1,200 locates a year. Takes a lot of wear and tear on our vehicles, not just ours. I know Jeff's got 2 departments that go out and also do locates, so there's a lot going on there. What we do have going on right now is the dual fuels that we have, the generators, the tanks to them were built in '95, and we had them inspected here recently. When they inspected them, they found about 1.5 foot of sludge in the bottom of these tanks from the diesel fuel. So right now we're looking into several companies that could come out, pump all this fuel out, clean our tanks. We may end up having to have a welder come in and cut a manhole in the side of them to make them compliance, because a lot of them won't go in, they don't want to go in these tanks because there's like 16-inch opening at the top. So there's a lot going into this. I'm trying to get everything right now put together and get numbers back, but here soon we'll be presenting that to you all.
Are these above ground, below ground?
They're like 24,000 gallon tanks. There's 2 of them there. They sit right on the north side of the dual fuels.
What is the sludge?
It's, what I understand is it's a bacteria from the diesel.
Okay.
So the line that goes to the generators sits just above them. So this is explaining a lot why sometimes these generators don't fire, because I think we're drawing
All right, any questions for Jamie? All right, thank you, sir. All right, rec department, Mr. Crouch.
Thank you, Mayor. We just wrapped up week 4 of rec basketball, so we got 2 weeks left. We did some of the makeup games that we had to postpone from the Saturday before due to the weather, so we made most of those up, and then we'll make the rest of them up over the last 2 weeks. We will be doing all-star teams for the rec league, so we'll have 6 separate all-star teams that the refs, coaches, and then myself and Brad will vote on for that. We got men's league basketball going on right now. We got co-ed volleyball going on right now and little dribblers as well. Yoga got started back up today with the new yoga teacher. The numbers enrollment are looking pretty good. She is offering a new class, so she kept the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday system that they had and then added another Wednesday night class. I did have a meeting with all the travel baseball coaches last week. We have a team for every age division from 7 to 14, with the exception of a 12U. We don't have a 12U team. So I met with them. I know it sounds early, but we have our first baseball tournament at the end of March. So I just want to get all of them on the same page, let them know kind of our plans. We're having a bunch of tournaments here in Pratt this year, trying to get them on board with playing as many tournaments as they can. I want all the local teams to play in all the local tournaments. The Point got all the permits submitted either last week or the week before that. There's a bunch of them. They take about 6 to 8 weeks to come back with approval. Most of the interior design is done on the building. Still waiting on the exterior design. There's been some tweaks. Working with a new designer to get that completed. I hope to have that done as soon as possible so that the engineers can get to engineering the building. So we're moving along with that. There's just a lot of moving parts, but it's coming along. So that's all that I got, and got any questions, I'll gladly answer them.
Any questions for Justin? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, police department, Chief Fuller.
Thank you, sir. Our Unit 2301 that was at Doug Ray for an extended period of time for the deer strike has been returned, is back in service. That is the only unit that is left on that Ford recall for the computer reprogramming, so we're going to get it to Mel Hamilton as soon as possible. But that unit is back on the street. Been busy a couple weeks since our last meeting. We responded or received 213 calls for service from the just to the police department. We did see an uptick in motor vehicle accidents. We had 8 in the past 2 weeks, and 0 of them were weather related. We did see an uptick in domestic violence calls, motor vehicle burglaries as well. All of the motor vehicle burglaries were unsecured vehicles. We did put something out on our Facebook to try to encourage our populace to secure their vehicles and get valuables out of their vehicles. I completed the year-end report on the opioid crisis settlement funds to the AG's office today, so that should be completed. Officer Stats is entering his 10th week at KLATC, doing really well. He is ready to be home and done with that step, but he's getting close. Jeff sent me an email, Shannon Lane sent me an email the other day. I had requested a while back for KDOT to do traffic studies on West 54 school zone crossing to eliminate that, as well as the K61 and US 54 intersection for directional arrows to be installed. Jeff informed me that that study is a ways down the road, significantly down the road.
2020. Oh, God.
Oh.
So they don't want to do it.
I don't, or just that busy to do it. I don't know that the traffic study really needs to be done for the removal of the school crossing on Fitzhugh. That is our school crossing. That is our school zone, so I don't know that we need a study to undo it. But since it is on a federal highway, I reached out to KDOT, and there's a process, a significant process. But to me, if you simply go out there, there's no children that are using that as a school crossing zone. I'm not sure it congests the traffic there, and I'm not sure why it's still there. I mean, 382 has a pickup there, no children cross there, so I would like to see that eliminated. Our dispatch center has recently upgraded to headsets for their dispatchers, and most people are unaware of it, but in the dispatch center, there's 3 different phone systems, 3 different servers that come in there. The police department, the sheriff's department, and the 911. They're all 3 separate servers. The dispatchers are required to answer all of those lines, and that's the PD phone, the SO phone, 911 are all separate, making it quite difficult for those dispatchers to answer a headset type phone with a handset. And Christine is getting it into a headset. Those 3 systems are now merged into the terminals to where they can answer it on a touch screen or by mouse. So they're not occupying their hands and also trying to dispatch and type in the calls. So I think once those are up and running, they should be, it should streamline it quite a bit. Regina and I attended the 911 board meeting on the 27th. Yes, 27th. It was the 27th. During that meeting, there was discussion on brought up by Director Landwehr on a failing voice recorder system that is required. It was currently using voice products, and might be able to educate me on this a little bit, even though he was there. The system is failing, and she requested that we look at Equiture, I believe she called it, to replace that system, and it's a system that is commonly used in our area. It is required, a piece of equipment, so the board approved that purchase. And then there was some server issues that I know Mike can better explain this to you all, but there is a server issue that needs to be purchased because of a increased cost on a system that was being running. But that's something that the 911 board is looking at purchasing as well. So that's all I have.
They did approve that purchase.
They did, pending 911. I think they're going to go forward with the, and Todd was there too. Sorry, Todd, I didn't mean to leave you out. But they did approve the purchase of the voice recorder system immediately, and then going forward with the server. I think Mike's going to spec out the server right now, and then once funds are available to act upon it. But
That's
it'll
all
all come out of the 911.
911 funds.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's all I got. Unless you have questions.
Any questions for Chief? Okay, thanks, sir. All right, Fire Department, Chief Hoffman.
Thank you, Mayor. Haven't had any spectacular calls or anything, just some false calls here and there, a few small accidents, minor fender benders, and then just false calls out at one of Grand Plains was actually today. That's why I was kind of a little late here today, but nothing serious. We did do the push-in on Engine 1 this last Sunday with beautiful weather, and appreciated all the support there. I am currently looking at if we need to go with a broker to get rid of Engine 2. We've got it, since we've done the transfer over, we'll get it cleaned up and then get the feelers out there to see about what we need to do about getting rid of it and selling it. So.
Okay. Well, I thought you did a wonderful job yesterday on your speech. Beautiful weather and everything, so.
It was a nice turnout, so.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nice
Very great.
event.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Was.
So, all right, any other questions for Chief? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
City Attorney, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't really have anything to report. Just mainly want to thank city staff for working with me on these projects, and also some for their patience, because some projects have had to kind of be put on the back burner with some of these more immediate concerns. But yeah, we're definitely rolling through things and being productive, and I appreciate everyone. So.
Well, we appreciate you, Cody. So.
Well, thank you.
All right, any questions for Cody? All right, thanks, sir. All right, Finance Department, Ms. Easton.
I don't have anything.
Okay, any questions for Lita? All right, City Clerk, Ms. Garten.
I just want to bring it to everyone's attention that we have several job openings right now in several different departments, and including a utility clerk / receptionist for the front desk. And then we've got water, street, maintenance, and then volunteer firefighters are also needed. So it is on our website. Everything is active on our website, and a flyer went out on Facebook. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled for opportunities or someone that would be interested.
Is there a reason why people are leaving?
Some of those positions.
Like our water, we had
one of our water employees was injured.
Okay.
And so we're moving some people around.
Okay.
And then we had an early retirement in the utility billing clerk. In the fire department, what we need is still that fire truck driver for the maintenance department, so those kind of go together, and that has historically been a challenging position to keep filled. There's just not enough Eric Welsh's in the world.
That's for sure. So.
And that's all I have to report.
All righty. Okay. All right. With mayor reports, I have nothing. So, Commissioner Hostetler?
Nothing.
Commissioner Myers?
I just want to ditto the fire truck blessing. I really like that ceremony. Really proud of all those guys pushing that truck in. It's a memorable event.
Commissioner Siemens?
Nothing.
Commissioner Blankenship? Okay. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we move the city council recess into executive session with the city administrator, city attorney. Do I need to say their names as well, Gina or Cody? I'm sorry, if she wants them on standby, or is there?
Just in case the commissioners want to speak to them.
Okay. With the public works director and the building inspector to discuss matters related to an employee with the city pursuant to non-elected personnel exemption to KSA 75-4319. B1, the open meeting will resume to city council chambers in, I was going to say 25 minutes. Do we need to take at least just a 5-minute break? And then, so we will resume at 6:55. How's that sound?
Already?
Huh? Okay. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Doug.
We're good.
Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion that we return out of executive session with nothing to report. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we come out of executive session with nothing to report. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, I'd like to make another executive session to go into executive session to discuss matters related to the employee with the city for non-elected personnel. I say we'll return back at 7:10. It's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session for non-elected personnel. We'll come back at 7:10. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion that we come out of executive session with nothing to report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we come out of executive session with nothing to report. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I'd like to move now that the City Commission recess into executive session with the city manager, city attorney for consultation regarding a matter related to potential real estate transaction, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship pursuant to the attorney-client privilege exemption in KSA 75-94319B2. The open meeting will resume in the city council chambers in 15 minutes, which is roughly 7:26.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we go into executive session with nothing to report, but with attorney-client privilege. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion that we return out of executive session with nothing to report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we come out of executive session with nothing to report. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, any other discussions before? Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn for the evening. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn for the evening. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.